Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dojo Live recap show. We all know what that means. It's Monday, another week ahead.
Yeah.
So, the purpose of today's show is actually to introduce you to the shows that we had last week, share a bit about them, what we thought, to entice you to watch them if you didn't get a chance, and also to introduce the shows that we've got coming up this week. So, it's my pleasure to give you my opinions. Kim Lantis here with Dojo Live, airing from Hermosillo, Sonora, Mexico, joined by America Guerrero, still in
Hey,
Cancun. Lucky
still in
lady.
Cancun.
Last week, we actually had two live shows, and then we introduced our very first ever People Matters panel, where we talked about LGBT in tech. So before we talk about the panel, let's talk about our live shows with our guests. That was Nikhil Gupta, CEO and founder of Armor Code, and Dan Demir, CEO and co-founder of Cinchi. What do you think of those shows, America?
Well, I love both. With the company Cinchi, what I learned with this guest is that integration sucks. And it could cost you a lot. That's why they have this platform. Yeah, and it's amazing the way this platform allows to company that instead of having your data in different kind of applications, you just have it in one. And this one in particular is really interesting. He shared his screen and it was like a galaxy of data. And at the beginning, I was like, ooh, even I wouldn't know how to use it. But he shared that there were kids involved in their feedback. I mean, it's really intuitive, and it's really that I really liked. And with Nikhil
Well,
and
pause just 1 second. With
yeah,
with
yeah,
mentioning kids involved in the feedback, I think what Dan mentioned specifically with Cinchi is
uh,
that they want to have their interface very easy
user
to
experience.
use.
Yes,
So
exactly.
he utilizes his own children, right,
Exactly.
to play around and see if they can, and sort of as a UI UX sort of researchers there. So
Exactly.
Dan's kids can do it. That means in theory anyone can do it, right? They're users anyway.
And you can see it and it feel like weird. In my experience before these two shows, sometimes I feel kind of insecure when we're going to talk about data or security, but both of them, they were so clear. They shared with us his experiences and everything was so cool. With
Yeah,
Nikhil,
super digestible. Super
exactly.
digestible.
And with Nikhil, that this is both shows were related with the user experience side. At the end, Kim always says, like, ask, what would you recommend to those startups out there who wants to, well, people who want has this idea, and yeah, so I really liked.
Yeah, I like them both too. I think also what was interesting with both Cinchi and Armor Code is that they're tech companies who actually utilize their own products, right?
Mhm.
Which is ironic as that might sound, it doesn't always happen. And so I thought I really appreciated that. What was eye opening for me with the Armor Code conversation with Nikhil Gupta was just the overwhelming dev to security developer to security developer ratio. I think it was 100 to 1 or maybe even 200 to 1 if I recall correctly. So really just this hitting home, right, that when it comes to application security, we need for that to be automated, and that ultimately everyone benefits from that, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, really interesting show, and their approach to it, both very good, easy, like you said earlier, easy to digest shows that we appreciate. So for sure, I also appreciated the visualization that you alluded to with Cinchi, right? In my mind, it was sort of like sometimes data can be this glob of necklaces that gets all tied up,
Yeah.
and you don't know how to do that. And what Cinchi's doing is really kind of untangling that and allowing you to easily focus on where you want, with making integration. What did he say? I think he said something. He had this cute this catchphrase, something about, what was it?
I
Something
don't
about
remember.
don't integrate.
I, we
Oh,
will ask them. We will ask
yeah,
them.
no. I've got it like right here, and I can't think of what it was. It was a really good. Um, I know something about. liberate, don't
Okay.
integrate. I think that was what it was. And I appreciated that. And it really, what he was talking about too is how technology isn't, the more tech we have, it's supposed to make things simpler, less complex. In some ways, it's more complex. And so, really, the heart behind Sichi is to make things less complex. And I think there's that
Cinch.
parallel with
Uh-huh.
Kacinch, exactly. And there's that parallel with Armor Code as well, right? Trying to simplify things, make sure that you're not, uh, you know, decreasing any of your security, but doing it in an easy to obtain way, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about that People Matters LGBT in tech.
Oh, was amazing. We had 5 guests in total during the week. This panel was Tanya, Artemis, and Jorge Simons were there. They collaborated in Quora. So they shared with us their experiences, what they would like to, what they are expecting in the community, the LGBTQ community, in the tech companies. And something
Mm-hmm.
that I can't forget is Tanya saying that one of the most important elements when someone from this community is looking for in a job is to feel secure, to feel this diversity, this inclusive environment. It's most sometimes it's most important than the money that you get or the title you will get. And it's something that you can also think about it, and it's a business perspective, because if you want to reduce your burnout, you can also
Or
really
your
go deep.
turnover. Mm-hmm.
Exact your turnout, yeah, turnover. You can really go deep in this topic, how you can improve the culture. And
Yeah,
yes.
just
Mhm.
the benefits not only to individuals but to companies about creating safe and inclusive environments, which is really the inspiration behind People Matters, right? We're going to be inviting other panels to be speaking on other diversity, equity, and inclusion elements every Friday. The goal is to have that maybe once a month or every other month, but keep an eye out for People Matters for sure. And really beyond that, it's, I think, the perspective of individuals on what we as companies and as individuals and people can do to help create those inclusive environments in our places of work, the benefits for them. And for me, I think the takeaway was just as an individual is to continue to be curious, to continue to converse, and create that safe space by when or if I hear someone say something or do something that is not creating a safe environment, that I speak out to that, right? And I think it was really interesting. You have a safe environment. I think this was Artemis who said this, when the bigots are the ones who feel unsafe. And I
Mhm.
thought that was an interesting takeaway. So what do we got coming up this week?
Yeah, so tomorrow we are going to have a conversation with Drew Carter, CEO at Whistle Systems. We're going to talk about employee loyalty. And then on Wednesday, we're going to have a show with Shil Midha, CEO and co founder at The Last Game Board, bringing humanity back through gaming. And we're going to have another show, but we don't have the topic yet. That is going to happen on Thursday with Siobhan Langley, CEO at Iron Learning. Don't miss it.
I think it's Siobhan Lindley. Yeah.
Live
So we
Lindley,
got
yes.
3 shows coming up this week, 12 o'clock Pacific, right here on Dojo Live. And we'll see you then. In the meantime, have a great day and a great week, everyone.